All right, it's time to take you through our person of interest. And she is 16, drives at over 200 kilometers per hour and is making space for Indian women in a sport mostly seen as off limits. Shriya Lohia is now India's youngest female Formula 4 racer. She's won the JK Tyre National Karting Championship, been honoured with the Bal Puraskar as well, and isn't slowing down anytime soon.
In a country where women are sometimes second-guessed behind the wheel, Shriya's presence on the grid is saying something. She's with us this morning to talk speed, to talk pressure, danger, and what it takes to hold her on in motorsports, one of the most cutthroat arenas. Shriya, good morning. Lovely to see your face early this morning. At what age did you think, this is the thing I want to do in life?
I think it was the moment I tried for the first time. That's how clear it became to me at that point that, you know what, this seems like it. Like this seems like it seems like I was, born to do this, and that's the moment it kind of clicked. And yeah, I'd say that was when I was 9.
Born to do this, and you knew all of this at just 9. That's just fab, to say the least. But racing is not really a very conventional career choice. How did it work out for you, both at home and on the track?
For sure. I mean, it still does actually to this point because it's not very common. And, usually you have, for the conventional careers, you have a pathway that you're supposed to follow, and usually it'll all work out. But with motorsports, it's completely different. You never know what's happening, and you kind of just have to adjust to everything that's happening to try to make your career work, because there's no certain pathway that you do this, and you'll for sure make it. But I feel like that's how it is with sports anyways. There's no guarantee that you'll always make it to the top. But my parents were I'm very grateful my parents were fine with taking that risk, and it's still a risk we take this day, going in this unconventional path. But I think it's all with that, hope within us, that hope and belief within us that it will work out someday, and it will all be fine.
Risky it is. It feels like it can get very dangerous.
So, as we all know, motorsports is quite dangerous. Even actually, most things to do with vehicles, even on the road, we see so many accidents all the time. So,
True.
Obviously, anything associated with risk, with speed, is inevitably risky. And that's the same for motorsports. Well, it's probably a bit worse because we're going a lot faster and there's a lot more close competition. But honestly, when you're out on track, you're not really thinking about those kind of things. It's in your head, you're just thinking that, I want to do my best. And obviously, we all know the risks that we're taking every time we get in the car. But, ultimately, we're all hoping for the best for everyone. We're always praying for each other's safety and hoping everything goes well. But, you always have to take some risks. And unfortunately, in motorsports, the ones you take are a bit too big.
The clarity this girl has is just amazing. But at 15, I'm saying this, you're making history, right? What does it mean to be a female Indian in motorsports? Could you describe that for us?
To be a female in motorsports in India, it's a lot of things. It's an honor. It's tough. It's new. It's comparatively still new. People didn't know that this was possible, and it's kind of surprising now that we're in 2025, and it hasn't happened as much as we thought it would. And this is the first time a lot of people are hearing about female being in motorsports in India. But it comes with a lot of things, honestly. It's firstly showing that women in general can excel in male-dominated fields, and that, there shouldn't be these stereotypes. It's 2025, and there's no need for stereotypes of assuming that women can't do as well as men. We belong there as much as our male counterparts. And another thing, it's probably also tough. It can be a bit daunting at times, because some people will try to throw it in your face that you are the only woman, and try to make you feel like you don't belong there. Maybe they may not say it directly to your face, but they do certain things that will make you feel like they're trying to leave you out, or they're trying to put you in the spotlight that you are the woman and you have to accept it, and it's a bad thing sort of way. That's maybe the tough part. Like especially with all of this media attention, there's quite a few people who have things to say, and everyone always has things to say. Some people have good things, some people have bad things, but I feel like it can be tough as well because people are still breaking out of that stereotype of women driving on the road. But I'm happy that my my career is sort of a start of something, and hopefully things get better for other females also aspiring, and they don't get these comments when they're excelling in motorsports or in male dominated fields. So maybe I'm fine to take all of that as long as it doesn't get passed on to the next few.
Bravo.
As long as we're able to sort of break that, and it all gets better, I think that's a good thing. And obviously, even as an Indian in motorsport, I think I would love to help as much as I can to other drivers as well, because I know how difficult it is to be an Indian and to excel in motorsports. We've seen that with Kush Maini. He's worked so hard for his career as a reserve driver for Alpine now. But yeah, I think we're just trying to clear the way for everyone else. We're trying to make history for our country, obviously. And I feel like that's how I could sum it up.
So inspiring. Have you ever had a moment though when you're on track where you're just, scared that this is it, I'm going to crash?
Moment like that, maybe. I guess like when you're in the car and you know that you're going to be involved in an incident, you're not particularly panicking. Maybe it happens a bit, but we're kind of, the key to be able to drive well is to stay calm in the car, because if you start panicking, it's kind of all just going to rush to you. But I for sure have had like moments where I kind of I'm in a race and I know someone's going to hit me, or someone's like made contact and I know, oh no, I'm just gonna spin around now and then there's no going back and I'm out of this race. At that point, there's not much you can do other than accept that it happened and sort of analyze the whole situation. If it's your fault, if it isn't your fault, move on from it. But I guess it's racing, stuff like that happens. But honestly, like I said, the adrenaline rush is so high when you're driving, you don't actually think about these things. You're not, at that moment, you're not even worried about, what's going to happen to me or what's going to happen to my car until the car actually stops or you're like at a standstill and you get some time to think and breathe. That's kind of how the mind of a driver is at that moment.
Wow. Shriya, the next question, I can't believe I'm asking a teenager, but let's hit it from you. What is your technique to stay calm under high speed, high pressure? What do you do?
Actually, I feel like it's something that comes naturally to a lot of us, a lot of drivers. It's kind of, like what our passion is, what we feel like we're born to do, and just focusing on what we're supposed to do that lap or how we're supposed to deal with everything. It's just a way of keeping calm. I know some people get a bit hot-headed under the helmet, and I do that too sometimes. Maybe when things are going really terribly wrong, that's how it happens. But I think the key is just to stay calm, and it's because you're doing what you love, and that's kind of what keeps you at peace. Just like if I were at home, maybe I'm not that happy as I am when I'm in the car. So when I'm in the car, I know I'm doing what I love and that my parents have worked hard for this. I've worked hard for this. So it's just about enjoying it and, savoring every single moment, honestly.
Shriya, so much is written about different racers' racing styles. If your racing style were a movie title, what would it be?
I'm not sure, actually. I don't think it would be like particularly a movie, maybe like a movie character.
Yeah.
If I were to go with a movie character, maybe let's take Mia Toretto from Fast and Furious.
Yeah, we've been showing our audiences on the
she's
website.
quick, but she's also a bit calm. Like on the other end of the spectrum, we have Letty, who's a bit hot-headed at times. I love her as well, but maybe I'm not a lot like her because even when incidents happen on track, I try to stay as calm as I can and not like lash out or get any of that out, because I feel like that's a good way to be. You're not supposed to take it out on others or always express your frustration, even though it can be frustrating. So I'd say maybe Mia. She's a bit like me. She's she's a bit calm and she kind of deals with everything normally without getting too angry.
I think I have happy tears listening to her answers. They're just so good. But, you know, Shriya, do tell us towards the end, you're doing F4 right now. Is F1 the ultimate dream? And what do you want to do? I want to know, with all the recognition, love and support that you're getting today.
Obviously, I've raced a year in India in Formula 4. The next thing is just about going abroad, racing with the best in the world, and trying to develop as much as I can as a driver, as a human. So it's just about, getting that financial backing to go race abroad, because that's kind of what we're lacking at the moment. I wish I had a solid plan for this year on what I'm doing, but I don't. And it's kind of just about gathering all that funding, sponsorship, and making it possible. I've been very fortunate to get a lot of opportunities this year, but I've had to turn down quite a few because of financial constraints. So I'd
I
say
see.
it's probably just about that, and going racing abroad. Obviously, I want to hopefully make it to Formula One. I know it's a very tough path, but I feel like with the right support, with the right amount of hard work, it's not impossible.
Yeah.
And it would be really a groundbreaking moment for us Indians, for females, and obviously for me and my family who are working so hard to make this possible.
We believe in you. It's so lovely to hear your story.